Hello, everyone. It is another bright day here in the National Headquarters University campus, National Open University of Nigeria. You are welcome to another exciting moment of our facilitation exercise on SED412 Industries and Industrialization. In today's topic, we shall examine the principle of industrialization in West Africa, and we are going to examine um, the definition of industrialization, then also discuss the role of industrialization in economic development of the nation, and we equally look at the problems and challenges of industrial growth in West Africa, and we will not only look at the problems, we will attempt to provide solutions. We are going to suggest solutions to these arrays of problems in West Africa, and also discuss how do we promote indigenous companies in industries in West Africa. We're also going to apply the same rules of engagement to examine similar situations in Nigeria. How do we promote indigenous industries in Nigeria? What are the problems of industrialization in Nigeria? And knowing the problems, what solutions do we have? You know, uh, that we can prefer to bring about improve industrialization engagement in our country. These and some other related things to be discussed in this class. So it is my hope that you are set for this class. Get your pen, your writing material. Let us meet on our learning platform. So meet today. You are welcome to the learning platform, and the topic is industrialization in Nigeria and West Africa. I'm your facilitator, Dr. Amusa Oluwadamilare. Our learning outcome today will be to, define industrialization. At the end of this class, we should define industrialization and discuss roles of industrialization in economic development of a nation. We should discuss the problems of industrial growth in West Africa and suggest solutions to the problem of industrial development in West Africa. We should also be able to discuss how West Africa countries can promote indigenous industries, discuss industrialization in Nigeria, the journey so far. You should be able to list and discuss ways by which government can encourage industrialization in Nigeria. And of course, what are the strategies of industrialization to be examined, and we're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of industrialization in our country. Let us now look at the journey so far on industrialization. The whole thing started with the arrival of Portuguese colonial masters, at the African coast in 1471. 1471. It's been a very long day. So they came around, and that was the beginning. And at the time, Denmark, Sweden, and Britain later came, to join Portugal. And of course, they competed very well with them. They competed with, and Britain dominated at the end of the day. In the 18th century, Britain had taken over most of the colonies in West Africa. And the Royal Niger Company took charge between 1879 and 1900, took charge of some of these Western businesses, their interests, and Colonial Development and Welfare Fund was established in year 1946. This was to bring about seemingly some form of development in the country. So the fund was there, and it was mainly for foreigners who want to establish in the country. And this was followed by a series of national development plans between 1960 and 1968 after independence. So the independence came, and the business
National Development Plan came to effect. We also have second development plan on industry, which was promulgated for between 1917 to 1974. So that was the second industrial plan for the country. And we also have national development plan that spanned between 1975 to 1980. These are some of the efforts the government has put in place. And the fourth national plan covers between 1980 to 1985. So these are some of the efforts in the past. And also, of course, we have talked about the coming of the Portuguese. So industrialization in Nigeria, there was national economic empowerment development strategy needs that was also formulated in the year 2000 towards bringing about industrial revolution in the country. So the main goal of our needs includes wealth creation, employment generation, poverty reduction, and value reorientation. So, and this also led to another industrial plan, which was the National Industrial Revolution Plan. That was in 2012. So years after years, some of this industrial plan will collapse, another one will emerge, it will collapse, another one will emerge. So this has been the since the after independence. Let us look at ways by which government can encourage industrialization in the country, because a lot of things relies on government. Number one, government should consider issue of tax concession to pioneer industries. So perhaps this will bring sort of encouragement. Protection of infant industries that are just coming up, so they should not be burdened with tax and other levies from local government to state government to federal government, and even from some councillors introduce levies to on infant industry. So this should be protected. Development of infrastructural facilities, roads, energy supply, security, and so many other things, and that should be looked into. Establishment of industrial estates. So industrial estates should be established where industrialists will have solace and confidence of getting some things. So we have establishment of Nigeria Enterprise Promotion Decree. That effort has come in the past. That decree to boost industrialization in the country. We also have relaxation of industrial law. There are some laws that need to be relaxed. Yes. We have establishment of higher institution. Higher institution serve as a base for manpower to industrial program. So that will also be very useful. We'll talk about formulation of development plan. Series of development plan has been found in the plan, but we'll continue to formulate development plan as long as we have not gotten to our dreamland. Relaxation of import materials. Importation should not be encouraged such that it will kill local production. Increase industrial loans. The loans that will be given to industry should be increased. Initiation of industrial policies and improvement in agriculture. So these are some of the ways of encouraging industrialization in Nigeria. Take up these activities. As the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, how will you enhance industrialization in the country? How will you enhance industrialization in the country? Now, let's look at some strategies of industrialization that has been introduced by government. We have what we call import substitution strategy. This strategy helps to save a lot of scarce and foreign exchange. So it promotes employment opportunities and development of technological know-how. So there's also what we call export promotion strategy. Export promotion strategy. In this case, uh, this kind of strategy will increase the country foreign earning. A lot of things will be done on, exporting. We also have the benefit of, in solving balance of payments problem. That will be, it helps to solve balance of payment problem. It helps to provide employment opportunities. It facilitates transfer of technical know-how. It also increases the rate of growth of the economy. So when governments promote exportation, uh, it brings a lot of things to the country. Small and large scale development strategy. Governments are encouraged, on development of small and large scale industries with the aim of developing industrial sectors of the country. So it should not be left in the hand of the private sectors. Government should endeavor to also do some other things in that regard. Advantage of industrialization, this has been stated earlier on, it includes large-scale production of goods at much cheaper rates. Large-scale production of goods at much cheaper rates. There is savings of time and labor. It saves a lot of time and labor because you don't need to be going too far to get some of those things you have. Rise in standard of living. The residents of that area where there are industries will have increase of rise in standard of living. Customers get a variety of choices, check colossal wastage of resources, job creation, develop a new mode of transport, making quick exports and imports possible. These are some of the benefits of industrialization. Of course, it has its own disadvantage. Disappearance of natural resources, the pollution of land, water, and air. So, when they are concentrated, the amount of waste generated will be so colossal. We'll talk about development of health hazard due to pollution. Health hazard will come up. A lot of diseases will be in vogue. Emergence of child labor in factories, because people want labours. These things will attract underage that want to work in the factories, want to get some pay, and another day it affect their future. Increase in crime rate, emergence of artificial, mechanical, and materialistic civilization will pretend to be as if everything is normal. So, but industrialization brings a lot of challenges in the area of civilizations and some other things that are listed. Now, why should government control location of private industries? There is argument that government should not have a say. Government should have a say. One, to avoid congestion. It has to be regulated. Congestion, overcrowding, and slums. It has to be regulated to prevent a drift of too many people to industrial area. It's going to prevent, rural-urban migration, to prevent sudden mass unemployment. When an industry is concentrated in a particular area, the livelihood of the people will be affected. So any slight change in demand for the goods, then it may affect the entire company. Uh, Government intervene in location of industries by directly prohibiting firms from locating in a congested area. So there is that policy offering credit facilities. Okay, so credit facility can be given grants in form of grant and tax rebates to firms if they set up their factories, offices in certain area. It could be in a rural area and they have some benefits to get. Setting up industrial estates to encourage firms to go there. So government should also set up industrial estates. These are some of the ways government engage in intervene in location of industry. And we will talk about what hinders industrial goods. If there's no industrial goods in the locality, what is it? We have shortage of capital, there's no fund, shortage of skill, most of the aspect rates are foreign, poor basic services, there is no road, there is no electricity, and these are basic things that are supposed to come up. Lack of internal market. We have fear of taking risk. A lot of people don't want to go into the risk, and so they prefer to just stay aloof. Lack of financial institution to fund existing industries. The conditions for funding is on the high side. And lack of research organizations. Enough research and research activity has not been going on. So most of these things are taken out of the country, and it discourages industrialization. Lack of soil facilities. So many books, so many agricultural produce are rotting up because there are no storage facilities. And lastly, the issue of corruption is still part and parcel of our daily life. So these are some of the things that prevent industrial development. Now let's take this activity. Why is industrialization in Nigeria far below expectation when compared to developed countries like United States and United Kingdom? Why is industrialization in Nigeria far below expectation? That is the question. We now compare with other advanced world. Why? What are the challenges? So these are. If you want to have a quick wrap up, what have you learned? What have you learned in this class? We have been able to define industrialization, and we have been able to discuss role of industrialization in the economic development of a nation. We also discussed problem of industrial growth in West Africa. We have suggested some solutions. That if implemented, it will reduce the challenges that we are facing currently. Then we have been able to discuss industrialization in Nigeria, the journey so far, from the era of the Portuguese to the moment. What have we done? So it has been discussed, and you should be able to also list and discuss people by which government can encourage industrialization in Nigeria. What should government do to boost industrialization? And lastly, you should be able to mention advantages and disadvantages of industrialization. On this note, end our class and say bye for now.